Alright. Hello, Nonsanity. Raindrops here. Uh, sorry that I promised you this video a few weeks ago, and, well, let's just say life has been crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and read it now. As you can see, I've read up to here. Bobbing for Apples is the last chapter that you wrote, all the way back in May. So, yeah, been a while. And you wrote the first chapter actually before that, but it's been edited since then. So these ones I have not seen yet, and so this is what you wanted my opinion on. So this is what I'm giving you. I'm gonna write out what I plan to say afterward, but this is I'll go the extra mile. Okay, I'm gonna be reading this silently, so I'm gonna be moving at quite a speed. I'm gonna try and keep the cursor next to. Hello. Are you gonna want to watch the TV?
Not just yet.
Okay,
8
good.
o'clock.
Alright. Okay, because I'm gonna want the living room for like an hour.
Alright, well, 8 o'clock I'll want to sit down.
Okay. Sorry about that, family coordination there. I'm gonna try and keep the cursor right next to the line I'm reading. As I was saying, I'm gonna be reading silently, but you'll still see my face. So here we go. Very nice. She's doubting herself, as any epic hero would. I've actually been wondering most of the time what she's going to do. Like, is she going to find the Eye of the Storm and try and fly in reverse, like I mentioned with the jets in the other video, if I've sent it to you? Or is she... I'm not even sure what she's going to do. So this will be interesting to look forward to. This, I'm actually, not sure how to fix it, but I'm having difficulty, I'm really having difficulty visualizing what she's doing here, with her wings and with her body. It's, I mean, perhaps if I saw an animation of it, I might get an idea for it, but I'm struggling to visualize this section here. Right, I'm gonna keep reading. It was her leg, right? Yeah. She broke her leg. I have to comment on this here. Beautiful, wonderful imagery. And I can really get a picture of what's going on inside her head, but dude, that is some thick prose. And if I didn't know the meaning of almost all of these words, I would be royally confused. Bewildered, actually, is the word I was looking for. I mean, it's your choice as the author. Um, I mean, I'm all for big fancy words myself, but hmm, yeah, that's a bit of that got a tad excessive there. Might want to dial that back just a bit. This actually reminds me of the song "Loyalty" by, I believe it's Acoustic Brony. I'm not sure. I'm not going to look it up right now, but it's why they call me loyalty. That it is. That sounds funny. She wouldn't anyhow. She didn't need a mystical jewel to tell her not to give up on her friends and her responsibilities. She wouldn't anyhow. Yeah. It sounds funny to me. She could. Normally, I would say don't use a double negative, but in this case, I agree, you need a double negative. There are a few cases where it's needed, and that's one of them. Oh yeah, this is what I get lost in. Here she's on the ground, I guess. When did she hit the ground? I that got lost in Okay, so she's on the ground here. See, here I thought she was falling. Ah, I sort of glazed right over that. Sorry about that. So, here she's actually on the ground. Um, because she's falling here, I assume she was still falling here. I missed the scene break. Um, if you can do it without ruining the feeling you've got sitting there, which I see what you're trying to do. I love the trick. I love to do it. If it's possible, I would recommend tipping off the audience just a small subtle hint to let them know that she's on the ground now, that she hit the ground, because that got confusing. I was like, wait, Well, and now I'm running back up here to see where it was, and I'm going all through back all this that I read. You don't want your readers to slow down and have to read things twice, so if you could leave some sort of subtle hint somewhere up in here, that might be a good idea. Now, where's my place here? See, you're going to have this problem with them as well. Where's my place here? Here we go. Figured she'd be on the beach. These three clauses right here, they have a very similar structure. In fact, they're quite the same. Now, if this is I don't know whether this is intentional or not, but it has the effect that I see it have everywhere else in that it sounds choppy. She saw that she was on a beach. She saw that it was daytime. She saw that somehow, she had no idea how, she had survived a fall. Well, actually, now that I say it out loud, it's not as bad. I suppose it was... Actually, no, I kind of like it. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. Rainbow Dash not having broken bones is a miracle in itself. You know, from what we see in the show. She went through a tree, rock wall. She got one broken wing. I actually want to know what kind of accident caused her to break a wing. She's in the eye. Cloudless blue. She's in the eye. Anyone who knows much about storms will know that she's never seen one before, so this is great. Actually, she would be thinking exactly this. The storm's gone, it's gone up the coast, I've missed it, oh no. I think you misspelled that, actually. I mean, if that was an N, it would be the human spelling. That was, not really sure what happened there, but I think you've misspelled that. She must have hit the water, got washed up by the storm surge, which is still there because of the high tide, and then the eye passed right over her. What luck, actually. Because the eye can be quite small, depending on the storm. Larger the storm, larger the eye, but yeah. Here she goes, she's figuring it out. It's actually, if it's at the horizon though, how wide is this eye? A 6-foot man on flat ground can see for about 3 miles. So that's a radius. So it would have to be a good 6 miles across at least, which I suppose is reasonable for some storms. If it's a big storm, yeah. She's figured it out. Yep, there it is. Organized. Yeah. What's interesting is, and I love what you've done here. I really do. She just said it a moment ago, and that's really what it is. The storm gave her the perfect, perfect analogy to understand what Soren said to her. She perfectly understands what he was trying to say now. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. I really do. Well done. That just comes together beautifully. And I actually have to inquire as to how long that took to come up with. Because that was beautiful. She's found it. What's funny is I know all too well this lesson that she's learning. Now, I'm not saying I'm anyone special, but I've been in a place where I realized you can't just shut out parts of yourself. You need them more than you realize sometimes. Everything has a time and place. I think she's beginning to figure it out. Yeah, you tried that idea. Here we go. go. Now this I want to see. That is great when something like that from your past comes back. Oh yeah, salt in the wound like that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll bet. If she's pushing against the wind, she's going as fast as it, and then faster. And the way it's spinning. I have no idea if you were trying to say heavy or something else. But, that's probably not the word you were intending. Yeah, she'd had to have broken the sound barrier. Oh, she would. Oh, without a doubt she would. Oh my gosh, yes. But she usually has both legs out. It was noted by several people that she was only able to achieve the Sonic Rainbow when she had both forehooves extended before. When she only had the one, during practice, when she only had the one, she wasn't able to achieve it at all. And then it was when she was a filly, when she first did it as a filly, she had both forehooves extended forward. When she was doing it during practice, for Sonic Rainbow, she had one hoof extended forward and she failed. And then during the competition, she had both forehooves extended forward when she was reaching for Rarity and the Wonderbolts. But mostly Rarity. We all know she was saving Rarity. The Wonderbolts were just there, and she was like, okay, I'll save them too. But anyway, point aside, she had both forehooves extended forward, so this is interesting. she's created a circle. That's just incredible. So we close that out. Alright, this should be interesting. Where's the cover image too? Oh, I don't get to see it. Oh well. She's got... That's cool. She's made a ring of light, and so the wind can't break it up. It's like, it'd be like a ring of water spinning in space. Which would actually be quite interesting, because it would just expand if it was spinning fast enough. I'd like to see that now. A donut of water spinning. Take some force, though. It would have to be spinning, and it would just come together. That'd be interesting. Anyways. Just like Rainbow Dash. Can't sit still. I bet those dockers consider themselves lucky now for the 8 days when she was asleep. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to show you where I'm reading. Note not Twilight Spitfire to tell her she's been made a part of the team. She stopped a hurricane. Spitfire, followed by the others. Soren the Florist. I like it. Relief. That was relief. Satisfaction and relief. Oh, it's throbbing. Ah, good. Doo-doo. I see what you did there. I actually have to look this up. This word. Oh, well, thank you, Wiki. Feeling of weariness and dissatisfaction. I'm going to have to use that. Oh, we're back to read and weep. Inside was a book. Yeah, she was hoping it was a Daring Do book. I actually wonder if she didn't feel some nostalgia. Although, no, she's probably been in a hospital bed enough to... No, actually, that must have been the first time she was in a hospital bed because it seemed like it was the first time she'd broken a wing. Almost. This was the first time the issue seemed to come up. That her friends were visiting her and she needed something to do and they gave the book. It all felt like it was the first time it happened. Yep, she's happy to see Twilight, alright. Last she saw Twilight, she was on the train, nearly dead. Just so exhausted, she may as well have been dead. And for all Dash knew, she might have been. And Rarity. No, really, I agree here. I'm sure you've noticed as well as the rest of the world. Those things are hard. Like if you break your forearm and so they put a cast on it and you got the piece here, you can punch someone with that and you'll never even feel it, but they'll feel like they've been whacked with a hammer. That's just amazing. Yeah, there we go. I knew that was gonna happen. You know, I was actually waiting for that. Pinkie Pie, the Hug Master. Party! Pinkie Pie's parties. That's Pinkie Pie. Go. Beige to beige. Oh, jeez. I don't blame her for falling asleep. I've actually had theories about magic and whatever, and one of the fan fictions I'm running, I'm going to try and go into as much detail as I can without detracting from the story. But yeah, I think it does take up quite a bit of energy because we see Twilight straining a lot. I think like our bodies are mostly made of energy. We take our energy from food in the form of sugars and sort of, well, carbohydrates and starches and well, yeah, and we convert it into the energy needed for our muscles. I mean, everything is energy. Oh, you know this from Leavitt's physics. And so I think unicorns simply have the ability to convert physical energy that you would use to move your body, or the same energy you would use to think, mental energy, just energy, into magic energy, aura. Well, no, well, aura is the so, but point is well, most people can use that physical energy and mental energy. They can use magical energy. They can turn the energy into magic and use it to lift objects that I like the way Aragon did it, where you must have first have the physical strength to do it. I mean, that's actually a really good way to think about it. I mean, if you exercise your magic, you can have it be more efficient, I suppose. You can lift more with less, which is what, or rather that you've just got so much, or you could think about it like Naruto with chakra. Uh, and so Naruto's got so much more chakra than anyone else. So if he were able to use magic, if he were a unicorn, he would be able to, live quite a lot, almost as much as Twilight, because he's got so much. So that might be how that works. So Twilight moving so many, and teleportation would definitely take a lot. She was sweating the first time she did it. Um, yeah, so that would definitely wear her out. Philadelphia. I actually have to pull up the map that I like to. It's actually not far off. It's just up the coast. Map of Equestria. This is the map I usually use. Here we go. Here's Manhattan, and there's Philadelphia. So she would have been on the train from Ponyville to Philadelphia. Well, Ponyville to Manhattan. So yeah, somewhere in there, she would have flown down here, found the beach. She'd have been in the eye, found the beach, and tried to go around in circles here. And the closest hospital would have been Philadelphia here. So she actually would have been right about there. Whoops. Right there. That's where she would have been. That's where the eye of the storm must have passed over her. And it was heading up inland and north. As most storms would, it would have come probably in and around here. Probably would have come right in, heading for Manhattan, and she would have had to have blown it this way, and it could have broken apart right here. Which actually sort of makes sense, almost. Which means Philadelphia would have taken a huge brunt of that. So that's something to think about. Don't remember which direction she flew in, but she had to have ended up right down here if the storm didn't get to Manhattan yet. No, because it was hitting them on the train right there. So maybe you weren't thinking of this map, but this is a canonical map of Equestria released by Hasbro. There's Ponyville. Ponyville here, Canterlot, Ghastly Gorge, Appaloosa, the Smoky Mountain from Dragonshy. This is the Everfree Forest. This is the old ruins where they found the Elements of Harmony. There's Los Pegasus. Philadelphia to Los Pegasus, cross country. Further north, there's Cloudsdale, Appaloosa, Dodge City. Pinkie Pie and Rarity had to go. I mean, I'm sorry. Terribly sorry, I'm getting on a rabbit trail. Anyway, so here we are. Okay, so it would have been coming up north and inland. So she would have been here then. And it would have been it doesn't work on the map. It would have been coming up and then changed course and gone down. So she would have had to have been somewhere around here. And the storm would have been only so big, so the train would have had to have been almost coastal. Yeah, guilt gonna set in. She gonna feel terrible until Soren comes along to reassure her. Yep. Yep. That's a very not Rainbow Dash. What? What's going on? Okay, whew. That's interesting. I like how that works. So that just got lucky. No amount of careful planning would have arranged that. Hospital rules. Oh yeah, I remember ninth grade. We were running in gym and someone tripped me and I fell. And just because I fell, school rules, they had to make me sit there until they brought a wheelchair. They had to wheel me down to the nurse's office in a wheelchair for the nurse to say, oh no, he's fine, he can go back. And then I ran back to gym. Oh, you have someone to meet you. It's Soren. Or Spitfire. But Soren's gonna be excited. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yeah. This is one of the things I love about rain so much. When you're depressed, a sunny day just feels awful. It's just so in contrast with your feeling and you just hate it that much more. And then a rainy day, you can at least be depressed in the rain. Uh, and eventually I feel better in the rain. I can go for walks in the rain and feel better. But enough about me. You go, Soren. Yep. Way to go, Soren. Well done. Well done, Soren. Way to wake up Rainbow Dash. Say hello, Niblet. He's a little camera shy. He doesn't like cameras. He always seems to know when he's on camera, too. I had a feeling they were gonna fly. Ah, great bonding moment, too. Now, what's going to be interesting, and what I keep thinking about, is whether or not she's going to join the Wonderbolts. I think it would be a great ending for the story if she doesn't. If, you know, they leave off with Spitfire, well, we'll definitely keep you on the list. And then she just goes back to her life in Ponyville. It would be an excellent adventure. And a great place to leave the story. And with you, I'll bet you'd probably dip into the slight transition of getting back into reality. But I think it would be a great ending if she actually didn't join the Wonderbolts from this. She doesn't even know how bad a state she was in. No, she's too guilty. She might not tell him. He's gonna have to prod her a bit. Yes, that's right. Find control of yourself. Well, come on. Come on. If you don't want to sit on my lap, alright then. Yep. There you go, Rainbow Dash. Well, well done. That's that character development. Very important, and you know this. Of course you do. You wrote it. Oh, I wanted to hear that conversation. You bugger, you skipped over it. You better come back to it. I'm going to be very upset if you don't come back to that. It's an emotional moment for her. She has to explain it. Plus, I want to know, and that's probably you just trying to keep your readers in suspense, you bloody good writer. Why do you do this to me? Yeah, that had to have been weeks. Weeks. She probably spent about a month in the hospital. Probably. It takes 6 weeks for most bones to heal, so a month would definitely have healed her leg. Here we go. There you go, that'll leave something from her. Well deserved. Oh my gosh, yes. I will not. Oh, I'm already in there. But, it's difficult for me to judge. And because of. It's done well. I just don't agree with the way it was done. I wouldn't have done it personally. But it's not my story. Um. I cannot criticize the way you wrapped that up. I just would have done it differently. But all in all, very nice. And actually, I think you've done it better than I would have, because I would have wrapped it up. But this wraps it up, but it leaves room for an extra chapter. A small one, but it does leave room for an epilogue. If you wanted to make one. So, I would say, well done. And I'm going to write up a review of this if I can. Actually, no, I'm too exhausted. Um, I might write up a review of this, but I'm just gonna make the video and send it to you for now, and tell you all this in the message. So, thank you very much for this. I remember when you sent me the first couple of chapters. Oh my goodness, how long has it been? It's been almost a year at this point. We're in April now. So, yeah, coming up on a year since I was on Pony-chan. And then, from there, wow. And you were one of my first stories, too, in that first thread. Wow. Wow. I've invested a lot of time in this story. Alright, well, thank you very much for sending that to me. I'm gonna wrap this up now, and, yeah. Sequel soon. I wouldn't ask you to write a sequel. This is well done. Maybe an epilogue, but not a sequel. No, this stands up in its own right.